Single-player gaming has given us some of the most iconic moments in history. Here are the masterpieces that truly define the genre. So, let's dive into it.
The artifact?
Rise of the Tomb Raider takes everything great about the 2013 reboot and sharpens it into a true Tomb Raider experience. 1 year after Yamatai, Lara sets out on a journey through Syria and the icy wilderness of Siberia, chasing the legend of the immortal prophet while battling the ruthless Trinity organization. This time, Lara is more determined, stepping into the role of the adventurer we know her to be. The game shines with its larger focus on exploration and puzzle-filled tombs, offering over a dozen beautifully designed challenges that reward you with powerful new skills. Combat and survival elements return, but it's the freedom to explore, discover secrets, and unravel the mysteries of Kitej that really elevate the adventure. Visually stunning, with improved gameplay flow and strong character moments, Rise of the Tomb Raider is the most classic Tomb Raider of the Survivor trilogy, and an absolute must-play for anyone who loves cinematic action adventures. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker may have shocked fans back in 2002 with its bold, cel-shaded style, but what started as controversial is now considered one of Link's most magical adventures. Set across a vast ocean, this pirate-inspired journey has you sailing a talking boat, charting mysterious islands, and uncovering dungeons that stand among the series' very best. Its cartoon visuals give way to surprisingly dark storytelling, and its combat fast, fluid, and full of charm still feels fantastic even today. Whether it's gliding with a Deku Leaf, battling monsters to musical cues, or solving puzzles that reward curiosity, Wind Waker captures the pure joy of adventure.
Hey, Slick, it's me!
Grand Theft Auto V is one of the most ambitious open-world games ever made. Its sprawling recreation of Los Santos and surrounding countryside feels alive, bursting with activities from street races and stock trading to scuba diving and chaotic, unstructured mayhem. The game's boldest move is its three protagonist structure. Michael, Franklin, and Trevor each bring their own perspectives and missions, and switching between them mid-heist makes for some of the most cinematic, multi-layered missions the series has ever seen. The driving feels great, the world is stunning, and the variety of ways to play is staggering. But GTA V also stumbles. Its story can feel inconsistent, and the game's treatment of women is often shallow and misogynistic, undercutting its satire. Still, despite its flaws, this is Rockstar's most ambitious and exhilarating sandbox, a chaotic masterpiece that set the bar for open-world design.
Life is just one long mystery. Ooh! Engine's been hit!
Get us out of here!
I'm losing control!
Cyberpunk 2077 is a game of breathtaking ambition, set in the neon-drenched sprawl of Night City. Its world is alive with detail, overflowing with side quests, and shaped by meaningful choices that make every playthrough feel unique. Playing as V, you'll dive into hacking, stealth, and brutal combat enhanced by cyberware that lets you manipulate the battlefield in creative ways. But the game is far from perfect. V can be an unlikable lead, the story swings in tone, and enemy AI often feels clumsy. Johnny Silverhand, brilliantly performed by Keanu Reeves, is the highlight, a chaotic presence that elevates the narrative. Despite launch bugs and uneven writing, Cyberpunk 2077 delivers one of the most immersive open worlds in gaming. It may not reach the heights of The Witcher 3, but it's a bold, unforgettable experience that rewards those who lose themselves in Night City.
The only way to prevent the biochip from failing is to slot it into your head.
Alien Isolation is a survival horror game that nails the atmosphere of Ridley Scott's 1979 classic. From its retro-futuristic computers and haunting sound design to the constant hiss of fog and screeching violins, the game feels like stepping right into the film's universe. Playing as Amanda Ripley, you're stalked across the Sevastopol space station by an unpredictable xenomorph, a relentless hunter that keeps every encounter terrifying. Early on, the tension is incredible. Hiding in lockers, clutching your motion tracker, and praying the alien doesn't hear you feels genuinely nerve-wracking. But at 15 to 20 hours, the experience drags. Extended stretches with androids, constant backtracking, and repeated fake endings turn fear into frustration. Despite its brilliant presentation and early scares, Alien Isolation overstays its welcome, leaving a survival horror that's atmospheric but ultimately exhausting. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania masterpiece set in the hauntingly beautiful kingdom of Hollow Nest. Its hand-drawn art, atmospheric music, and subtle storytelling create a world that feels alive, tragic, and endlessly mysterious. Exploration is the heart of the game. Every path branches into secrets, upgrades, and bosses, with each biome blending seamlessly into the next. The combat is deceptively simple, but rewards patience and precision, while charms let you customize your playstyle in clever, flexible ways. It's brutally challenging at times, but rarely unfair, and the sheer amount of optional content, dozens of bosses, hidden areas, and deep lore makes discovery feel rewarding rather than like filler. With over 30 hours of content and free expansions adding even more, Hollow Knight is one of the most atmospheric and rewarding adventures you can play.
My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am.
When it comes to single-player masterpieces, God of War Ragnarok is one of the absolute pinnacles. Picking up a few years after the 2018 game, it's a sprawling Norse epic that blends heart-wrenching storytelling with some of the most satisfying combat you'll ever play. Kratos and Atreus' journey explores prophecy, sacrifice, and family, all while throwing you into jaw-dropping realms filled with stunning detail and cinematic spectacle. Every swing of the Leviathan axe and fiery whip of the Blades of Chaos feels weighty and brutal, backed by Bear McCreary's incredible score. With unforgettable characters, twists that keep you hooked, and combat that's both ferocious and tactical, Ragnarok doesn't just live up to its predecessor, it surpasses it. This is the kind of game that defines why single-player experiences matter. Bloodborne is a gothic nightmare brought to life by From Software, a game that pushes players to the edge of despair and then rewards them with moments of pure triumph. Set in the haunting city of Yharnam, its atmosphere drips with mystery, where every alley hides cosmic horrors and every encounter demands razor-sharp reflexes. Combat is fast, aggressive, and unforgiving, with transforming weapons and sidearms pushing you to adapt on the fly. What makes it unforgettable is how victories feel earned. Every boss, every shortcut discovered, every cryptic clue pieced together leaves a lasting mark. Bloodborne isn't just a test of skill, it's an emotional pilgrimage through madness, terror, and revelation. For those willing to endure its punishing trials, the reward is one of the greatest single-player journeys ever created.
All the wickedness that mankind can produce.
Doom Eternal takes everything the 2016 reboot delivered and cranks the chaos to 11. This is pure demon-slaying adrenaline, a non-stop ballet of double jumps, grappling hooks, chainsaws, and shotguns, all set to a thunderous heavy metal soundtrack. Every fight is a brutal puzzle of resource management, where health, ammo, and armor are ripped directly from your enemies, forcing you to stay aggressive and in the action. The arenas are faster, bloodier, and more vertical than ever, letting you chain insane combos midair like a demon-slaying acrobat. The story leans heavier this time, but make no mistake, the real heart of Doom Eternal is in the sheer exhilaration of ripping and tearing through Hell's armies. It's one of the most ferocious and finely tuned single-player shooters ever made. Psychonauts 2 is a rare kind of sequel, one that arrives 16 years later but feels like it never missed a beat. You step back into the shoes of Raz, a young psychic training to become a full agent, as you explore both the real world and the surreal landscapes of people's minds. Each mental world is wildly imaginative, from psychedelic music festivals to neon hospital casinos, and every level ties beautifully into the story and the characters who live in them. The game is quirky, heartfelt, and endlessly creative, with a cast that's as weird as it is lovable. Platforming and combat can feel a little clunky at times, but Double Fine's writing, art, and imagination shine through in every corner. Psychonauts 2 isn't just a worthy successor, it's one of the most unique and charming adventures you can experience today.
Dangerous things.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the ambitious second chapter in Square Enix's reimagining of a classic. It takes players beyond Midgar into a vast, open world filled with story-driven towns, sprawling regions, and countless side activities. The game balances cinematic storytelling with fast strategic combat, arguably the best in the series, where every character feels distinct and every fight bursts with spectacle. Rebirth isn't perfect. At times, its pacing can feel uneven, and its open world design leans heavily on checklists that risk slowing down the adventure. Yet, despite these flaws, it shines with unforgettable moments, whether it's the Junon Parade, the Gold Saucer, or fresh reinterpretations of iconic story beats. The cast is as lovable as ever, the music is phenomenal, and the emotional stakes are higher than ever, especially with Aerith's fate hanging in the balance. Imperfect, uneven, even unfocused at times, but for fans of RPGs, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is bold, heartfelt, and ultimately unmissable.
I'm really glad to have you back, Cloud. Really glad.
Celeste may look like a simple retro-style platformer, but it's so much more than that. You play as Madeline, climbing the mysterious Celeste Mountain in a journey that's as much about inner struggle as it is about precision platforming. The controls are simple, just jump, dash, and climb, but mastering them takes real skill, and every success feels completely earned. Death comes often, but quick respawns keep the pace fast and addictive, while hidden secrets, strawberries, and brutal B-side levels push even the best players to their limits. What truly sets Celeste apart, though, is how it blends this razor-sharp gameplay with an emotional and heartfelt story about anxiety, perseverance, and learning to face yourself. Backed by one of the best soundtracks in gaming, Celeste isn't just a great platformer, it's an unforgettable experience that will stay with you long after the climb is over. Resident Evil 4 Remake takes one of the most influential action horror games ever made and completely revitalizes it for modern players. You step into the shoes of Leon Kennedy on a desperate mission to rescue the president's daughter, but things spiral into a relentless gauntlet of parasite-infected villagers, nightmarish creatures, and some of the most iconic boss fights in gaming. The remake modernizes the controls, letting you move and shoot fluidly while still keeping every encounter tense and dangerous. Combat is brutal, strategic, and endlessly satisfying, with dynamic enemy behaviors forcing you to constantly adapt. Every area, from eerie villages to towering castles, has been reimagined with stunning detail and chilling atmosphere, backed by sound design that will make you paranoid at every creak and whisper. More than just nostalgia, this is Resident Evil 4, perfected a masterclass in action, horror, and pacing that hasn't lost an ounce of its bite.
Some missing, señorita?
Death Stranding 2 On the Beach takes Hideo Kojima's ambitious foundation and transforms it into something truly special. Once again, you're Sam Porter Bridges, trekking across a harsh landscape, this time Australia, where the Earth itself seems to fight back with sandstorms, quakes, and deadly floods. Deliveries remain at the core, but the friction of the first game has been smoothed out, making exploration and planning more rewarding than ever. The combat has evolved too, offering creative stealth, flexible weaponry, and wild gadgets from blood boomerangs to coffin hoverboards that let you tackle encounters in your own style. But what makes it unforgettable is the story. A haunting, deeply human reflection on connection, technology, and the baggage we carry, told with Kojima's trademark mix of emotional weight and eccentric spectacle. It's weird, bold, and utterly original, a blockbuster sequel that exceeds the promise of the first game. Sleeping Dogs is an open-world action game that blends Hong Kong crime drama with brutal martial arts combat, thrilling chases, and an unforgettable undercover cop story. You play as Wei Shen, A detective infiltrating the triads, constantly torn between loyalty to the law and the pull of the criminal underworld. What makes Sleeping Dogs stand out is its focus on hand-to-hand combat, fast, fluid, and cinematic, with bone-crunching environmental takedowns that feel like a Hong Kong action movie brought to life. Driving is just as slick, with arcade-style handling that makes every chase pulse-pounding. The city itself feels alive, packed with side missions, races, karaoke, and street-level stories that flesh out its world. It's a game that balances raw action with a deeply personal narrative, making it one of the most overlooked gems of its generation. Mass Effect 2 is one of the greatest sci-fi RPGs ever made, a perfect blend of cinematic storytelling, player choice, and thrilling action. Once again, your Commander Shepard, leading a desperate mission against the Reapers, a mission so dangerous it's dubbed suicidal from the start. The heart of the game is your crew, a cast of flawed, fascinating characters whose loyalty you'll need to earn if you want them to survive the final mission. Every decision you make, from small conversations to life or death calls, shapes your story, with choices carrying over from the first game and into the finale. Combat is sharper than ever, mixing tight third-person shooting with biotic powers and squad tactics that make every encounter dynamic. Backed by stunning visuals, an incredible soundtrack, and top-tier voice acting, including Martin Sheen as the elusive man, Mass Effect 2 isn't just a sequel, it's a landmark RPG that still sets the bar for choice-driven storytelling.
I'll follow him into battle, but he'll have to fight to earn my trust.
Yakuza 0 is a crime drama set in 1988 Japan that serves as the origin story for series icons Kazuma, Kiryu, and Goro Majima. At its core, it's a gripping tale of betrayal, power struggles, and loyalty, told through cinematic cutscenes and stellar performances. But what makes Yakuza 0 truly unforgettable is its balance of tone. One moment you're navigating the brutal world of the Yakuza, the next you're singing karaoke, managing real estate, or teaching a punk rock band how to act tough. Combat is flashy and satisfying, with multiple fighting styles for both characters, each with bone-crunching finishers that make every street fight feel like an event. Add in neon-soaked streets packed with detail, hilarious side missions, and countless diversions from arcades to hostess clubs, and you've got one of the richest, most eccentric open-world experiences out there. Yakuza 0 isn't just a prequel, it's the perfect entry point into one of gaming's most unique sagas. Baldur's Gate 3 isn't just another RPG, it's a landmark moment for the genre. Larian Studios has taken dungeons, dragons, and built a living, breathing world that feels boundless in possibility. Every choice matters, from dialogue to combat to how you handle entire quests, and the game rarely tells you no when you want to try something clever. Its turn-based battles are challenging, creative, and endlessly varied, forcing you to think like a dungeon master is plotting against you at every turn. The writing is just as strong, companions are layered, flawed, and unforgettable, while even minor NPCs feel alive thanks to stellar performances and expressive motion capture. Across its three massive acts, Baldur's Gate 3 delivers a sweeping narrative full of shocking twists, emotional weight, and decisions that echo hours later. This isn't just a successor to the classics, it's the new gold standard for CRPGs.
You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power.
Where's our money?
Red Dead Redemption 2 is more than just a prequel, it's a sweeping, emotional epic about the fall of the Van der Linde gang and the death of the Wild West. You play as Arthur Morgan, Dutch's right-hand man, caught between loyalty to the gang and his own sense of morality. The game's world is breathtaking and alive, from snowy peaks and swampy marshes to bustling towns filled with strangers who remember your actions. Every choice, from helping a traveler to robbing a train, shapes Arthur's journey, and his personal journal reveals his inner turmoil in ways that make him feel painfully human. Missions mix cinematic gunfights with quiet, story-driven moments that hit hard, while chance encounters on the road constantly surprise you. It's a slow burn, but the weight of every decision, betrayal, and sacrifice builds into one of the most powerful stories gaming has ever told. Red Dead 2 isn't just about cowboys, it's about consequences.
I don't want to kill all these food Dutch.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is the kind of game that redefined what an open-world RPG could be. From the moment a dragon shatters your execution, you're given total freedom in the frozen north of Tamriel, a land filled with ancient ruins, warring factions, and secrets buried in every mountain pass. The world is alive, with townsfolk whispering rumors, bards singing in taverns, and random encounters that make every journey unpredictable. The main story pits you against Alduin, the World Eater, but it's the choices you make along the way, joining guilds assassinating kings, or simply wandering into caves for hidden treasures that shape your legend. Combat gives you power over swords, bows, and devastating magic, while dragon shouts let you command the battlefield with raw force. Even with its quirks and bugs, Skyrim's scale, freedom, and atmosphere make it one of the most immersive single-player experiences ever created. This isn't just about being Dragonborn, it's about carving your own myth in a living world. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice takes the DNA of Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but forges something entirely new. You're not a knight or a hunter, you're a shinobi, armed with a katana, a prosthetic packed with deadly tools, and the ability to resurrect in battle. Combat is unlike anything From Software had done before. It's fast, precise, and built around breaking your enemy's posture with perfect deflections. Every duel feels like a deadly dance, where one mistake means death, but one perfect parry makes you feel unstoppable. Movement is just as liberating, grappling across rooftops, striking from the shadows, and escaping like a true ninja. Sekiro may be punishing, but it's also empowering, demanding mastery of skill rather than stats or gear. And with its mix of Japanese history, myth, and breathtaking boss fights, it stands as one of From Software's most unique and unforgettable worlds. Planescape Torment is one of the strangest and most brilliant RPGs ever made. You begin as the Nameless One, an immortal who wakes up in a mortuary with no memory and a cryptic message carved into his back, setting you on a journey through Sigil, the City of Doors. Unlike traditional fantasy RPGs filled with elves and dragons, Torment leans into the bizarre undead, liches, and creatures pulled from the darkest corners of the Planescape universe. Built on a modified Baldur's Gate engine, it improves on the formula with better journals, automaps, and dazzling spell effects, though quirks like clunky inventory remain. What makes the game unforgettable is its writing, dialogue-heavy, deeply philosophical, and filled with quests that uncover not just the world, but the mystery of who the Nameless One truly island. Every choice matters, shaping your alignment, abilities, and relationships, and nearly every puzzle has multiple solutions. With its eerie atmosphere, endlessly replayable choices, and some of the finest characters and dialogue ever written in a game, Planescape Torment stands as a masterpiece of storytelling, one that still feels daring and unique decades later. A Plague Tale Requiem is a bigger, darker, and more ambitious sequel that dials everything up from its predecessor. You once again step into the shoes of Amicia as she fights to protect her younger brother Hugo, whose mysterious illness draws them into an unrelenting nightmare across 14th century France. The story is harrowing, often overwhelming in its nihilism, but also filled with moments of resilience, family, and heartbreaking sacrifice. Gameplay expands on the original's stealth and puzzle elements, sneaking past soldiers, wielding Amicia's sling and crossbow, and manipulating light to survive against impossible swarms of plague rats. The rats themselves are more terrifying than ever, not just coating the ground, but crashing through walls, scaling heights, and devouring entire cities like a living natural disaster. Stunning visuals, haunting music, and superb performances make the horror both beautiful and unbearable, even if technical hitches occasionally struggle to keep up with the spectacle. While its stealth mechanics remain familiar and its combat can feel clumsy, Requiem's unforgettable set pieces, strong character writing, and grotesquely mesmerizing rat hordes make it a worthy and devastating follow-up. It's a journey that will scar you, awe you, and linger in your memory long after the credits roll.
I know. Think of your brother. We have to carry on.
Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is a medieval epic that feels straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. Picking up where the first game left off, you once again step into the shoes of Henry, a blacksmith's son caught in a storm of dynastic intrigue, betrayal, and bloody war. What sets this sequel apart is its deeply immersive world. From the bustling city of Kuttenberg that feels alive with history, to a quest lineup of nearly 100 stories, each crafted with meaningful choices and emotional weight. The sword combat is sharper, archery has been refined, and even alchemy and blacksmithing have been expanded to pull you further into Henry's journey. Sure, a few bugs and design clashes pop up, but the sheer ambition and unforgettable storytelling make this one of the most engrossing RPGs of recent years. If you're craving a grounded, historically rich adventure with the soul of a true masterpiece, this is it. Marvel's Spider-Man is more than just another superhero game, it's a spectacular adventure that truly makes you feel like the web-slinger. Insomniac nailed the joy of swinging across Manhattan, with fluid, momentum-driven traversal that's so fun you'll spend hours soaring just for the thrill of it. The combat mixes gadgets, combos, and slick takedowns to deliver that improvisational, high-energy Spidey style. But what really makes this game shine is its story, balancing Spider-Man's superhero struggles with Peter Parker's personal life, complete with heartfelt relationships, emotional twists, and some of the best character work in any superhero game to date. While side activities can get repetitive, the main campaign is gripping, heartfelt, and cinematic. Simply put, this is one of the best Spider-Man stories ever told in games, and one every player should experience.
Hi! Is this...
Donkey Kong Bananza isn't just DK's return, it's Nintendo's next big leap in 3D platforming. Built by the Super Mario Odyssey team, this Switch 2 adventure gives the Great Ape his most ambitious outing yet, with fully destructible environments that turn exploration into pure, dynamic fun. Every layer of this underground world is a dense playground, packed with smart puzzles, clever secrets, and rewarding collectibles. DK's powerful moves from tearing up terrain to wild Bananza transformations make every moment feel fresh, chaotic, and satisfying. It's all tied together with Nintendo's signature charm, nostalgic nods, and a campaign that crescendos into an unforgettable finale. Donkey Kong Bananza isn't just a worthy successor to Mario's legacy, it's a groundbreaking masterpiece that proves DK is more than ready for the spotlight. Super Mario Odyssey is Nintendo at its most joyful and inventive. This globe-trotting 3D platformer fuses nostalgia with bold new ideas, anchored by Mario's charming new sidekick, Cappy. His possession powers transform the adventure, letting Mario inhabit everything from Goombas to a towering T-Rex, constantly keeping the gameplay surprising and fresh. Each of the 16 kingdoms feels alive with secrets, clever platforming, and playful 2D throwbacks that celebrate Mario's history while reinventing it. Odyssey is rarely difficult, but its challenge lies in exploration, with hundreds of power moons to discover long after the credits roll. From the urban spectacle of New Donk City to heartfelt finales that left fans applauding, this is Mario at his very best, a generational masterpiece that proves why he's still the king of platformers. Fallout 4 takes Bethesda's post-nuclear RPG formula and expands it into one of the richest open worlds the series has ever seen. The Commonwealth is a wasteland, teeming with eerie forests, crumbling cities, radioactive storms, and endless side quests that make every step an adventure. What begins as a simple search for your family grows into a morally complex story of factions, philosophies, and hard choices where even villains carry a trace of humanity. Fallout 4 shines brightest in exploration and customization. Its deep crafting system turns junk into treasure, letting you build weapons, armor, and settlements that reflect your journey. Gunplay is tighter, VATS add cinematic flair, and companions like Nick Valentine make the world feel alive. It may stumble with early pacing and performance, but after hours in the ruins of Boston, it's clear Fallout 4 is an engrossing, darkly humorous epic that can easily consume 100 hours and still surprise you.
Diamond City.
Don't shoot! I swear I'm not a sin. For God's sakes, we're family!
This is ridiculous. I want the truth, McDonough.
Nier Automata is one of the most unpredictable games you'll ever play. A dazzling fusion of hack-and-slash combat, bullet hell shootouts, RPG depth, and even text adventures. Set in a hauntingly beautiful post-apocalyptic world where androids battle alien machines, it delivers fluid, fast-paced combat with balletic animations and wild scenarios that constantly keep you on your toes. One moment you're cutting down robot clowns, the next you're dueling atop a speeding roller coaster. Its hybrid gameplay is a thrill ride, backed by a soaring soundtrack and striking art direction that make every location unforgettable. The story can be convoluted, and its emotional beats sometimes feel forced, but the existential themes and multiple perspectives give it a unique weight. Despite flaws, Nier Automata shines as a crazy, beautiful, and endlessly entertaining journey, a cult masterpiece that refuses to be boxed into any one genre.
We're soldiers. We take pride in our service.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is an extraordinary sequel that takes the brilliance of Breath of the Wild and expands it in every direction. Hyrule is bigger, richer, and endlessly surprising, with sky islands above, vast caverns below, and a surface transformed by the upheaval. Exploration remains the heart of the experience, but now it's supercharged by the freedom to build vehicles, fuse weapons, and solve problems in wildly creative ways. Every discovery feels earned, every distraction irresistible. The story takes bold swings, bringing Ganondorf back in a darker, more ambitious tale, while new dungeons and enemy variety answer fan wishes directly. Performance dips aside, Tears of the Kingdom is a stunning achievement, a game so vast and inventive it somehow makes its legendary predecessor feel like a first draft.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.
Terraria may look like a 2D Minecraft clone, but it quickly proves itself as something far deeper and more addictive. Dropped into a randomly generated pixel world with just a few tools, you're free to dig, build, and battle through an environment where every block can be broken and every cavern hides secrets. The day brings safety for exploration and building, but night unleashes zombie hordes and floating terrors, forcing you to fight or fortify your base. What sets Terraria apart is its obsession-worthy crafting system, with hundreds of weapons and items ranging from grappling hooks to spellbooks and even laser pistols. Pair that with dangerous biomes, massive bosses like the Eater of Worlds, and the thrill of co-op multiplayer, and you've got a sandbox where adventure never runs dry. Terraria isn't just retro charm, it's an endlessly rewarding world builder that sinks its hooks in and refuses to let go. The Last of Us Part 1 is more than just a remake, it's a complete reimagining of one of gaming's most celebrated stories. Every character model, environment, and animation has been rebuilt with incredible detail, making Joel and Ellie's journey across a ruined America feel more immersive and emotionally charged than ever before. The combat is sharper, the AI more aggressive, and the subtle DualSense haptics bring a new physicality to every step, shot, and blow. Paired with one of the most comprehensive accessibility suites in gaming, it ensures more players can experience this masterpiece than ever. While the absence of factions multiplayer, and some missing refinements from Part 2, keep it from being fully definitive, what remains is a haunting, beautifully crafted adventure that proves why The Last of Us is still one of the greatest games ever made.
It's the outside.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Can't be any worse out there.
Elden Ring is From Software's boldest and most ambitious creation, yet a masterpiece that redefines what open-world gaming can be. Across 87 hours of blood, sweat, and countless deaths, the lands between never stopped surprising me with breathtaking vistas, brutal bosses, and secrets hidden in every shadow. This isn't just Dark Souls in a bigger map, it's a world built on freedom, where every path you choose, every dungeon you discover, and every risk you take is rewarded with awe, danger, or triumph. The combat refines the Souls formula with new tools like Ashes of War, mounted battles, and powerful summons, while the enemy and boss design push your skill, patience, and adaptability to the absolute limit. What makes Elden Ring extraordinary isn't just its difficulty, it's the constant thrill of discovery, the sheer variety of challenges, and the sense that this world is alive with stories waiting to unfold. Simply put, Elden Ring isn't only FromSoft's finest work, it's one of the greatest open-world adventures ever created. Horizon Zero Dawn is a breathtaking action RPG that immediately captivates with its lush open world, relentless mechanical beasts, and mysteries waiting to be unraveled. From the very first moments, it establishes itself as something special, blending thrilling combat, deep lore, and a story that's both personal and thought-provoking. Aloy's journey isn't just about survival, it's about discovery, identity, and facing the awe-inspiring dangers of a world reclaimed by nature and machines. Even after more than 40 hours, its allure refuses to fade, pulling you back in with the promise of one more fight, one more secret, and one more unforgettable moment.
The first to hunt. The first to raise our bows.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of the greatest RPGs ever made, blending choice, consequence, and storytelling on an epic scale. You play as Geralt of Rivia, searching for Ciri while navigating a world shaped by every decision you make. From tense moral dilemmas to branching quests, no choice feels small, and the ripple effects carry weight throughout the entire journey. The world itself is breathtaking, with living towns, hidden treasures, and dangerous monsters lurking in every corner. Combat is fast, strategic, and satisfying, while the writing and characters, especially Geralt's relationships with Ciri, Triss, and Yennefer, add real emotional depth. With multiple endings, hundreds of quests, and a world that feels alive, The Witcher 3 isn't just a game, it's an unforgettable masterpiece every gamer should experience.
That monster slayer that he's talking about in the village.
Got monster trouble?
We're not having trouble.
Ghost of Tsushima is a stunning open-world samurai epic that brings feudal Japan to life like never before. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between honor and survival as he defends Tsushima from the Mongol invasion. What makes it unforgettable is the combat, fluid, tactical, and deeply satisfying, with sword stances that force you to adapt to every fight. It feels cinematic, like stepping into a Kurosawa film, complete with standoffs and the option to fight with style and precision. The world itself is breathtaking, from windswept fields to fiery battlefields, and exploration feels natural as the environment guides you rather than waypoint. While the stealth gameplay can feel basic at times, the sheer beauty, incredible swordplay, and emotional story more than make up for it. Ghost of Tsushima is not just a game, it's a love letter to samurai cinema and a masterpiece every gamer should experience. Titanfall 2 is one of the best FPS campaigns of its generation, combining high-speed movement, platforming, and massive mech battles into an unforgettable experience. You play as Jack Cooper, a soldier who bonds with BT, a Vanguard-class Titan, and together you face off against the IMC on the hostile world of Typhon. The campaign shines with creative level design, constantly introducing new mechanics that keep the action fresh, from wall-running puzzles to cinematic firefights. The relationship between Jack and BT adds real heart, turning this sci-fi shooter into something more than just explosions. Outside the campaign, Titanfall 2's multiplayer is lightning fast, filled with slick mobility, powerful titans, and modes that reward skill and teamwork. With its perfect blend of speed, strategy, and style, Titanfall 2 proves why Respawn is one of the best in the FPS genre. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a breathtaking platformer that blends emotional storytelling with some of the smoothest gameplay in the genre. Every jump, dash, and grapple feels fluid, pulling you into a rhythm that's equal parts challenging and rewarding. The world itself is stunning, lush forests, eerie caverns, and glowing marshlands, all brought to life with gorgeous art and a moving orchestral score that reacts to your every step. Along the way, Ori gains new abilities that open up hidden paths and creative ways to explore, while combat has been expanded with a variety of weapons and upgrades that make every encounter intense. But what really makes it unforgettable is the story, a heartfelt journey filled with joy, sorrow, and sacrifice. Ori and the Will of the Wisps isn't just a game, it's an emotional experience and one of the most beautiful adventures every gamer should play.